Sometimes our signal needs a lot of energy. Here I was asking Boots to come off her new strip of grass to go back into the yard, but you can see that once she'd turned to face me, she'd forgotten all about the little gate and was thinking, I'd just like to get back to my grass. Usually I'd put a halter on, obviously, and take her out, but this turned into an interesting little bit. Note her pause to think coming up. Now she's assessing her options. And she gracefully moves into our crossover game, which we often do as an exercise. So it allowed her to protect her dignity, but still comply with what I was wanting her to do. Now here I'm using body language and body extension signals to just ask her to move away from her grazing spot. Note the finger signal to yield the hind end. We practice this from a longer distance. And here I'm just using my body orientation to yield the hind end. And again, just body language only to yield the shoulder. Drop head, please, via a modeling signal. And then I raise my hand to get her to target it, to bring her head back up. This targeting of body parts made me really aware of just how sensitive horses are to the smallest of signals that we can give them. So here she's targeting a series of body parts and gets a click and a treat for each one. We often do this at the end of a session. And it certainly keeps her mind ticking over, and it makes me realize just how sensitive they are to what we're doing at all times. The horse is reading us all the time. So the clearer we can be and the stiller we can keep our body when we're not asking something, the easier it is for the horse to work out what it is we actually would like them to do. Because if they understand what we want, they're often just too happy to actually do what we want. Targeting her ribs to my hand, that's quite a new one. Sorry about the electric fence clicking in these few clips. Stretches. I'm trying to get her to stretch a bit longer, because evidently if they can hold it for 3 or 4 seconds, it's much better for them to stretch. Backing up with a finger signal. Horses are so sensitive, we don't need to shout at them. Once we've taken the trouble to actually teach them thoroughly what we would like in tiny steps, they're just too happy to comply. Backing up with just a finger signal from behind, very handy to get a horse out of a trailer. The more ways we teach something like backing, the greater the repertoire the horse has and the safer he is in unusual circumstances. This is the balancera, using body language only to ask the horse to come forward with me and to back up. So I'm getting a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back. And going to ask her to back up just with body language so that she's just working off my legs and my hands really. And then I'm going to call her to me and ask her to do a 360-degree turn on the forehand. And that's not bad. We haven't practiced that for a long time, and she remembers the signal even after a year. And belly crunches, which sort of stretch those longitudinal muscles that don't really get used much elsewhere.